This clip is from The Buckle Bomb Show. New episodes drop every Sunday at youtube.com/bomb media productions. Which was part of this. Cody Rhodes didn't show up in Jacksonville at Raw when we were all expecting him to, but we've got a report from the PW Insider, Mike Johnson of the PW Insider, who says that, and I got it right here, Cody Rhodes is signed with the WWE. Multiple sources have confirmed. Rhodes inked his deal about 10 to 14 days ago, and that was on the 18th. So pretty close to 2 weeks ago at this point, over 2 weeks maybe. The current plan is to have Rhodes debut at WrestleMania weekend, with early word among those in the company being that Rhodes will be on the Raw brand. If he's been signed for a couple of weeks already, which means he was signed before the Raw in Jacksonville, assuming this is true, why wouldn't you debut him in Jacksonville? Why would you hold off until WrestleMania?
Well, there could be a number of reasons why you hold off on Jacksonville. Maybe Cody wasn't comfortable with that FU that everybody was saying that was going to be a Tony Khan AEW, because last reported he left there and it was a pretty amicable split up and there weren't really any hard feelings. You also have to take into consideration things like, he just had a kid not too long ago. Maybe he wanted some time off the road before hitting that hectic WWE schedule to spend with his child. There's a various amount of reasons, but at the same time, again, we're heading into that season where you want to make all the WrestleMania moments you possibly can.
Sure.
Night two.
And especially with, we just talked about Austin being on the card, and you've got, Brock and Roman in a title unification match. That's humongous. Cody Rhodes being promoted for the show isn't really going to move the needle too much one way or the other. So you can save him as a surprise for the show for the 3 people that don't know that he's coming. But certainly, and maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, too, with the Jacksonville thing. Cody didn't want to kind of stick it to AEW that way. Because AEW, to a certain degree, whether he's there or not, is still kind of his baby. Certainly Tony Khan owns it, but that was kind of started by him in if not an actual sense, then by at least the way he feels, I'm sure. So I'm sure he doesn't want to do anything to really stick it to them. But it certainly feels like they wrote Raw with that ending planned, and then it was like, oh, we're not doing that. Well, he only shows up for 10 seconds at the end for the surprise. Why not just hold off? We'll tell that same story with Seth. That's how we end Raw, which was a little bit of a letdown. WWE couldn't help it, perhaps, but a little bit of a letdown for all of us expecting it. And then we'll see that actually happen in 2 more weeks. Though we still have a little bit of time. We've got another Raw before WrestleMania. But yeah, at this point, it does look like it won't be until Mania when we see him.
Yeah, I mean, unless next week they explicitly come out and tell Seth Rollins that he's going through all the smoke and mirrors to get a match at WrestleMania. I mean, at this point, like you said, there's going to be probably 3 people in the world that don't know Cody Rhodes is coming back. But at the end of the day, this is a big name. This is the first jump from the AEW ship back to WWE. So,
but to a certain degree, if you were to come out and say, "Oh, Cody Rhodes is here. Here he is. He's back in WWE, and he's having this match with Seth Rollins, night 2 of WrestleMania, or whatever it will end up being," and you can promote that, yeah. But to a certain degree, the what if, is he actually going to appear? Maybe they hold him off till, because what did I say the day of? You texted me, do you think Cody Rhodes is actually going to show up tonight? And I said, well, it's either going to be tonight or he's not going to be at WrestleMania. They're going to hold him off to the night after, assuming he's signed. And he'll be the big return. He'll be one of the big moments for the Raw after.
But, and that is something that I constantly forget about. The Raw after Mania, that's usually when you have a lot of your big signings show up. That's when you have a lot of your big returns happen. So
Right.
yeah, very interesting, man. I did not think about that.
But the way they did the story on Raw certainly led you to believe and hint at, no, something's going to happen here. And all of you that know what we're talking about, yeah, that's going to happen. We're teasing that. That might happen at WrestleMania. Keep your eyes open and watch. So to a certain degree, that might actually help promote the event more. Because is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Just like the second AEW Rampage, you know, CM Punk signed. Did he sign? Is he going to show up? Now AEW's not saying anything, but Darby Allin made this little tease in a promo and all this, and it built up so much. Nothing was confirmed, but just the groundswell of is this happening made it, one of the biggest moments in wrestling of the last 15 years, maybe.
Yeah.
So they're kind of doing the same thing here with these little phrases and teases. They're not out and out saying Cody Rhodes is here, but it's like, oh, just watch WrestleMania. He's gonna show up and he's gonna blow your mind, and we're off to the races. So
Hey man, he just needed that time to grow that mustache back.
he did say, I don't know if you saw, he did say on Twitter or in an interview somewhere that with his time off, he's been sitting at home, that he actually grew a goatee. And,
oh dear God!
And he was kind of happy with it, but that Brandy wasn't so happy. She was hoping to get rid of it. So we'll see. We'll see.
It's his saving grace from the Stardust face paint.
Right.